Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Video Ranking Academy private group hangout live call. I'm Sean, and I'm here with Heather.
Hey.
And so we are so pumped that you are here today. If you're joining us on the replay in the members area, this session is going to be super, super cool. This session is all about really growth hacking your your YouTube channel. Really growing it and growth hacking it, like tips to really build one by one and accelerate your channel growth. But we broke it into a few different parts to really help you build a foundation and then go through a few different sessions. So if you're just joining us, as everyone's coming on, good to see you. We see everybody's coming. A couple housekeeping things. I'm Sean. It's good to see you on a middle of the week. I'm here in Vegas, wherever you are, excited about what you're doing. And some foundational things here is that in the Facebook group, I know that if you're here, you saw the link there, and so you're on, but the link to this call and then the call later today will be there. And then we also have a post there that says questions. And so anytime during this, post your question on that post. And then Heather is here, and she's also on the Hangout, and she'll be capturing those. We'll be collecting those to be able to answer them at the end. And then we'll be able to go through those together. And I'm excited for you to hear from her. She is on the call. I'll actually have her unmute in just a second. She has been, really instrumental in even putting this whole Video Ranking Academy thing together. And really, she is a brilliant, really marketing, branding, expert. Really has helped a lot of businesses, has worked for Washington State and helped them with their social media strategies and some different things. So she's done a lot of cool things. Heather, say hello, and then we'll jump into the content.
Hey, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. I have loved getting to know so many of you guys inside of the Facebook group, and I cannot wait for today because, like Sean said, this is my world. And so I feel like we have really condensed a lot of information into this Google Hangout. So just make sure you're ready to take notes, and let's do this, Sean.
Let's do it. All right, everyone. So let's jump into the content. And I'm excited to be having Heather will be able to join and get to these questions a little bit later as well. So you should be good seeing this. And if you're watching this, you should be good to go. So welcome to the Video Ranking Academy private members Q&A and training. And we're going to jump into this. Let me just get my slides going and make sure I can present to everybody. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for investing in yourself and investing in, your education, your YouTube channel, your family, your future. It means a lot to me. And honestly, one of the reasons why I feel like we're family is because you're action takers, just like me, and just like Heather, we invest in our learning. We invest in growing ourselves, growing our wisdom, our knowledge, our abilities. And we want to run with people and be with people who want to do big things. And I know that's you. And so thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for being on this Hangout today, making the time, and really excited about being connected. So today we're going to be getting into some Q&A in just a bit. So remember, there's a post in the Facebook group where you can post questions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through a quick strategy session and teaching, and then we'll do Q&A right after that. And then we have a few channels to review as well. And we handpick those channels. We'll do some for this call. We'll do a few later, particularly to help you. We handpick them to serve the most people with the principles that we could get out of those. And so this whole theme right now is growth hacking your YouTube channel. And growth hacking is actually kind of a popular term. I like it because it's kind of buzzy, but it's sort of like finding ways, right, to grow your channel. Another word for it is like guerrilla, like with a U, and there's like guerrilla marketing, and just like, what are these tactics and different strategies and different things that we could do to explode our channel, or to just grow it one by one, person by person, to get the word out. And so we're going to jump into that. But here's the thing. It actually starts with branding. And we're going to go through 5 things during this session that is really a YouTube and social media branding checklist. And here's the thing. If you have experience in this space, this will be relevant to you. I like to revisit these concepts a couple times a year to say, like, how's my messaging? How's my channel? How's my branding? Or if you're just starting out, this is going to be really helpful. And the reason this is so important, and the reason this is the first thing before doing growth hacking and guerrilla marketing, is because first impressions matter. And so here's a question you should ask. What's the first impression that visitors get when they visit your YouTube channel? Like if we were to reach, if any of us had the chance to go on Good Morning America today and talk about our YouTube channel, and then when people went there, you know, what's the first impression they're getting? And I think that's a powerful question. So if we had the chance to reach 1 million people today, are we ready for them? It's kind of like if we were going to host an event at our, you know, at your house, and you're going to throw a big party for like people in the city and government officials are going to come and stuff. Like, what would you do to get ready? Would it just be your average day when a couple of friends come over? No, you would do some different things to really set it up. And so that's what we want to talk about here. And what is the first impression visitors get when they view your social media for the first time? And here's the big important question. Do they know who you are, what you are about, and why it matters, catch this, to them in 3 to 7 seconds? If they know, okay, I see who you are and I get, you know, kind of what you're about, but I cannot connect why this matters to me instantly, basically. If I land on the channel and I know that, okay, cool, this is a fitness channel specifically to help people exactly like me achieve my goals, great. Or if you don't want anything to do with fitness, you go, great, I'm not going to subscribe here. Like instantly, really in 3 to 7 seconds, not just who you are, what you're about, but also why, like what's in it for them, the viewer. And so I love this quote, right? You'll never get a second chance to make first impressions. And what we're after here is really clarity. So let's jump into these 5 things. And the first one is just having clear branding on your channel. Clear branding on your channel. So you want to have a clear avatar, your icon, your YouTube icon, right? So that's that one right there. That's your channel avatar. You want to have a cover image, and on your cover image, it is ideal to have a statement of some sort that describes what you are and why it would matter to others. So in this case, on video influencers, you can expect interviews and training videos to help build to help you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. I think a couple important words in there is you and your, because again, it's them focused. You know, a channel, it's not interviews and training videos to entertain ourselves. And if you want to look over our shoulder, you can, right? Like really orienting to the value you're adding to the audience. Then your about page, and we won't go too much here, but just making sure it's filled out, and we can go through some examples, especially in channel reviews. And then also your social media links, huge opportunity to build out your branding. And so when you fill those out, those go over there. People can learn more about you, check out other things, a link to your website and whatever. So clear branding on your channel, because when we do this growth hacking stuff, when somebody new follows the social media trail to find you, what do they get when they get there? What do they find? And is it clear? And is it powerful? And does it make sense to them? And the second thing you want to do is optimize your content and playlists on your YouTube homepage. So this is the homepage, and I'll cut over there in real time in just a second here. But what we have here is different playlists organizing our content into batches. And Heather reminded me that this needs to be 2016. So I'm going to actually update that, even though, because it will be video marketing, YouTube marketing. I'm just going to change that number and kind of remake these videos relevant, right? So we have one batch of a particular type of videos. We have interviews with entrepreneurs, different than interviews with YouTubers. We have video camera reviews and equipment tips. So we've put our particular videos into the different categories on the homepage. And a big mistake I see is a lot of YouTube channels leave their homepages blank. And so let's cut over to this in real time so you can check this out. And so what it is on your homepage here is you can easily change these playlists, create them, move them around, create new ones. You could say, I want this to be a horizontal row, and then it changes it back to a row like this. I want this to be a vertical row, and this is just something to customize. And a friend of mine who's actually doing great, he's got a channel called Asperger's Experts. on YouTube Predict. Help me here. There we go. Asperger's Experts, great channel. But what he's done on his homepage, this is what his homepage looks like. So it makes me feel like, well, he only has 5 videos, but that's not the case. And I got to message him and just be like, hey, I talked about you in, one of the Hangouts. But you look, he's got a ton of videos, a ton of different content, but just his homepage is not optimized. And so on your homepage, that's where you put your channel trailer, and you can just fill this thing out 100%. Now it gives people a good, first impression, and it helps them, a brand new person. Like, what's a brand new person find? Like helping them find your videos and things like that. So the other thing that is a power tip here is you could create a playlist called like Watch This First, or just like your best videos ever, and that could be right at the top as like an introduction to you. Like, what is the video or videos you'd want them to watch first? All right, number 3 is create a channel trailer ASAP. But ASAP stands for as soon as possible, right? So if you don't have one, put it on your to-do list. I don't feel like you need to rush to do it, but I think it is powerful and it can be important. So that is a video that only people who are not subscribed to your channel will see, right? So if you have a channel trailer, then when people land at your channel, it is a chance to tell them what you're about, who you are, and here's what you want to include. Or if you want to update yours, who you are and why your channel exists. And the why is, I think, important. There's a great book, Start With Why. You can actually watch the TED Talk for free, Simon Sinek, at 15 minutes. And it really just talks about that people are more interested in why we do what we do rather than what we do first. So it's really both. Like, we do, fitness videos, but the reason is because I really believe that when we have energy, we can love our families and, make a difference in the world. So always kind of leading with your why, and then what viewers can expect. So what are your video types? Hey, we upload interviews and these other things, and tutorial videos, or we upload weekly makeup tutorials, whatever it is. We do, weekly real estate videos, whatever. And then don't just tell them, but show them. So if you have a couple different examples, you could just cut in with like B-roll, right? Like, that shows there's some life, that shows there's some stuff happening. So kind of putting your best foot forward of videos throughout history, saying this is kind of what, is here, not just telling them, but showing them. And then you definitely want a clear call to action. So this is a chance to say, so, hey, if you want to get videos, and this is why I say subscribe for what? Like, if you want to get weekly fitness videos and motivational Monday videos, then click the subscribe button. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. So just a clear call to action, the why of what they're getting. Like, if you want, weekly homeschool tips and tutorials, click subscribe, and I can't wait to hang out with you in the next video. And then you could keep this short as well. So this, again, is that chance to give a first impression of your channel. But here's the thing. If you don't have one, you could just make it your best video. So you actually can select in your Creator Studio your very best video with the best impression and make that your video. Okay, next is, and number 4, we're talking about the 5 kind of branding checklist to get ready for growth hacking and really reaching a ton of new people. So you want to have clear branding on social media. And here's what I mean. So this is a picture of my Twitter profile, and you want to have a clear, headshot, eye contact, some things like that. And we'll get to that in a second. But by clear branding, I want you to work on this statement right here. And in this particular case, I wrote, I help influencers crush it with online video. And then let's connect to video influencers. And so this is, I think, a huge challenge, and we'll go kind of deeper into this, but focus is power here. And one of the things, I mean, I have to note, like, everything I'm sharing here, right, is totally, in my opinion, it's some tips. You got to integrate it with, what you're doing. But what a lot of times people do here is there's sometimes confusion happening. And I don't know if you've ever seen this, but sometimes they'll be like, I'm a speaker, author, YouTuber, success coach, father, mother. I don't know how you could be a father and a mother, but I've got, 2 dogs. I love music, and it's like, it's kind of all over the place, but I want to challenge you that this is your public way to, again, be others focused. Like that, if you describe yourself, someone could say, okay, that seems like a cool person, but I have no clarity as to like what value, where they could potentially serve me in the market. And I think you really, you want to position yourself that way. So here's some statements you could work on. I help blank with blank. It's a little framework for you. Like I help, or here's another one. I post weekly videos that blank. And you could even include a little bit of why in there. So now on my social media, then you cut over my Facebook page and I say, I help influencers crush it with social media and online video. Let's connect. As well as in this case, I'm even taking advantage of having like a cover image that people could end up on our email list if they want to download that guide. And then on Instagram, same thing. I help influencers crush it with online video. Grab the free checklist, 19 quick things to do every single time you upload a video. So clear branding on your social media. As we get into these tips of using your social media to drive traffic back, what's powerful is congruency, focus, and clarity. So I know this is hard, right? And this is also a process. Like it's taken years. I think it takes a lifetime. I don't think it ever stops. But, for example, I actually have 3 YouTube channels. I have a tech channel. I've got video influencers with Benji. I've got a lifestyle channel. I do ministry work. I do consulting, speaking. I love music. I have 2 dogs. I like green juice. I'm a best-selling author. And so there's all this stuff, right? And so I know you probably feel the same way. Like you are multifaceted. You're multi, dynamic. But here's a powerful thing to know. Your social media bio is not your biography. People actually discover, like if they end up following me like on Snapchat, now they're seeing that I like love green juice and some other things. But on your social media bio, in the year we're living in, it's so important to have clarity. It's a confusing, busy, noisy world. There's lots of people to follow. There's lots of people to check out. So focus is power. Clarity is power. And when you try to reach everyone, you end up reaching no one. So what we end up feeling like is that this is going to limit us. So by me planting a stake in the, I was like, well, if I just say I help people with online video, I do a ton more than what's even communicated in my social media. But yet I picked a flag to plant saying that my tech channel is actually where I make a full-time income, like Think Media TV. And I don't even lead with that. Like that's working. I can communicate to that audience. I can upload videos there, but I don't even have that on my social media, because as far as the clarity that I have for the way I want to serve people, help people, and what my passion is moving forward, I have figured that out. So that's something I want you to be thinking about, working on. And so clear branding on your social media, clear headshots, and meaning your profile picture, it really should be, you should show up online in the same way that you would show up at an exclusive event in your industry. And so if it's a brand channel, like we have a video influencers Twitter, and that's just an icon. But if it's your name, I would challenge you to have it be your picture and a tight, clear headshot, because that you're the person I would talk to if we went to an event in your industry. Now, it should totally have your personality, right? Of course, like if you don't wear suits, don't wear suits. If you, are philo pixie, then you might have Minecraft glasses on and you're going to have this cool gamer style and vibe. Like, of course, be you times 2, but have, it should be a clear headshot. We'll give some examples. Consistent message. Now, here's a little disclaimer too. You might be like, well, like on my Facebook, it's all about family, and it is about my 2 dogs and my kids and all this other stuff. And that's my personal Facebook. Yes, that's your personal Facebook. Keep that separate, do whatever you want. But we're talking about and really trying to, I'm passionate about your success. Like I'm passionate about you really cutting through the noise and just 10xing your YouTube channel, your income, your influence. And so on your social media, that's going to kind of be like your public global brand. You want to have a consistent message and clarity. Clean layout, as simple as possible. and then complete profiles. So as much as you can, you just want to have your profiles at 100% completeness. And so take advantage. Like if you can put your city and you're okay to say, I live in, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's powerful for a couple reasons. It lets people know who you are, but it even lets people find you. Like it could lead to networking relationships, collabs, just because you didn't leave anything blank. So profile, completeness. Just how do you just make everything complete? Taking advantage of every place to put a link, a URL, things like that. And so when it comes to also now back on clear headshots, this is not good. If your Twitter icon or any of your icons is still nothing, get that updated. This is great. It's close up. You can see, it's eye contact. I think a smile is definitely something you should lead with, unless your brand is definitely not, somehow it's more sarcastic or funny or whatever. So then, be you, but that's good. This is actually a really high quality picture. Like it's shot with a nice camera, but this is not good. It's very, very bad, right? Because like, especially in social media, it's like the miniature, it's like a little army man or something. Like it's indistinguishable who it is, like what's happening. Whereas this is good. So I would, for your social media headshot, lead with how you would want to be introduced to people. To reiterate why this is powerful is that if you're using Twitter to growth hack your YouTube channel, you kind of want to have that, you have this impression to be like, okay, that person's approachable. Let me go check out their bio. Okay, they're smiling. Well, that's inviting. Let me go look at what they're doing. And then they check out your bio and they go, oh, they're a YouTuber. Oh, wow. And that's something I'm passionate about. Let me click on their YouTube channel. And so just lead with something, again, a clear headshot, consistent message, clean layout, complete profiles. And then the fifth thing is to take advantage of putting your URL, that's your YouTube link, or your website, whatever you're leading with, every opportunity. So for instance, in your email signature, you'll probably send a couple hundred emails over the next year. You could put it in your phone email signature and in your normal email signature. When we talk about growth hacking, the power of reaching one person and kind of, recruiting them onto your cause that gets passionate about your videos, that gets passionate about your content is extremely powerful. So taking every opportunity to have these awareness points out in the world is huge. The link in your social media bios. So of course, just always taking advantage of those, and then fill out your profiles 100% in places where you're active. So if you are commenting on a forum or in a blog, they could click back, find you, and then find a link to what you're doing. So this is the what, right? We just give you 5 things of what to do to set you up for success for the stuff that we're going to be jumping into later. And the reason though, but why do this and why put in the time, why put in the work, is to eliminate confusion and to create clarity and congruence. Not just for, leading back to here, or if it's your website, or if it's your YouTube channel, wherever you go from, whether it's Twitter or whether it's Instagram or whether it's Facebook or wherever you are online, future platforms we don't even know about yet, you want congruence between them. So if they are introduced to you here and they say, okay, I see you, I kind of see what you're about, and then they end up here and you've kind of done the branding checklist on your YouTube channel, there's congruence all the way through. Like, wow, okay, fitness for middle-aged women, fitness for middle-aged women. I'm a middle-aged, woman, and this is great. Like congruence. I see you. You're going to help me with that particular thing. I want to follow you, and it's congruent there. Sometimes we have one message on Twitter, we got something else happening on Instagram, we have something else happening here, and then you land on our YouTube channel and it's not very clear, and we just lose people. People just check out as soon as you're not clear and you don't make sense. We just move on. We're looking for the needs, the passions, the wants, the problems, the pain points. That's what your potential audience is looking for, and they're looking for someone who can clearly answer that or help them or entertain or, whatever, right? And so remember, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And so that's why this stuff is important. We're going to be going through the growth hacking tips at the 7 p.m. And so I hope that wasn't like, you're like, no, like, no, this is all, you know, but yeah, so we're going to go through those and we're going to like break all this down. And here's the thing, you could just see those. And this, of course, will be in the members area. So you could catch up and follow up on all this data, but you could just skip all this. You could, and you will find new people and they will be exposed to you, but you only get one chance to make a first impression. So take some time. Simultaneously, you could be reaching out, reaching new people, and always upgrading your branding. You could do both simultaneously, but as much as possible, you do want to get your home base, you know, and your YouTube channel branded well to make that good impression. And I love this quote from Thomas Kempis that says, "The loftier the building, the deeper must the foundation be laid." So sometimes this stuff is not exactly fun. For some people it is. But I want this one. I'm passionate about you building something super significant, very influential, and to build something that is powerful, huge, you know, even if huge within your niche, you know, specific, but very clear, then you want a solid foundation. And so that's what this is all about, right? Getting you set up for a solid foundation. Okay. So if you have questions, let's put those in the Facebook group. We already will have some coming in. And then we'll also get to channel reviews, which we'll be able to actually talk about some of this stuff, which will be awesome as well. How you doing? It's good to see you. And so in the Facebook group, there's a place to put questions. And we have a couple channel reviews that we'll do in a second, but I want to hit the questions first. And then, of course, specifically questions about this. And anything else, we can hit those, but definitely on this topic of branding. But before we get into those, again, I want to encourage you, and as always, we come back to this theme, that this does take hustle, right? It does take putting in the work, but it's also something that's worth doing. I think about, especially with ranked videos, at this point, like I have all kinds of people, like as we're watching this video, right? They're seeing videos for the first time of my videos. So that makes me think, I always need to update this. I'm like, whoa, what's like their sequence? What are they seeing? What am I asking them to do next? And is their links broken? Is my brand strong? Is my messaging clear? And how can I update that? So it's an ongoing process, but it's completely worth it. So hustle, put in the work, you know, build a solid foundation and a solid brand, and then we'll growth hack with those tips. And if you're watching on the replay or in the members area, you could just skip right to the growth hacking tips, or we'll do those at 7 p.m. All right, let's do some questions. I think Heather can jump on to these as well. And the first question is from Erica. Can a doctor's office or a church be an Amazon affiliate? That's a solid question, and I've never set it up that way. Obviously, you need to do it you know, legally right. It's always been attached in this case to like a personal social security number, but I do think you can do it as an EIN, which would be like a business number. And so, sorry, definitely Google that. Yeah, Derek says, I batch filmed a month's worth of videos before I found VRA. What 3 tips would you give me for ranking videos that weren't filmed with the Video Ranking Academy principles in mind? So good question, Derek. And I like that you want 3 tips. So I'll try to come up with 3 tips. Maybe Heather can get the 3rd one. Okay, so here's what like I always, maybe the best way to think about this is doing research even after the content is created. So let me show you this example. So when we went and shot with John Kohler, who has a gardening channel, we generally, I kind of am in my mind thinking about it, but we didn't have the questions ahead of time. We just drove over. He was here in Vegas. We just drove over and shot this video with him. But once we sat down, some of the things that he discussed was how he turned his passion into a career. And so what I realized was that, okay, so the content's already done, and we didn't really shoot a hook around Google keyword research like Video Ranking Academy would have. We did our best, but I did come up with this long tail phrase, how to turn your passion into a career. And then passion into a career. And so those particular phrases rank 2, and we're doing good, you know, 0.7 views an hour on an interview that was more meant to serve our, you know, serve our audience. In one sense, like not every video is going to rank, right? Or it's not even positioned to, and it serves your current subscribers. But every single time I sit down, I always just start chipping away at the different angles of what could be the title. And here's the other thing is that in the interview, they talked maybe about 10 things, but I wanted to search around those 10 to find the one that's like, okay, this can rank, you know, there's not much competition here. Does that make sense? So you can always reposition your videos a little bit and do your best to have them ranking. However, always the most powerful thing, VRA fam, is to know your title so that you can say your title, because just like branding, congruence is power. So if someone types in how to turn your passion into a career, and then the person shows up and says, in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways on how to turn your passion into a career. That alignment is electric, right? Because now they're like, that was my search term. The thumbnail and the title said that, and the person said that, and then they're delivering on that. If you ever try to rank but don't deliver on the promise, it might rank if there's not much competition, but it's still not going to deliver much value because it's a switch. Everything online is really about congruence. If you're taking people through a funnel and it breaks somewhere, because then you got tricked. You're like, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to, you know, turn your passion into a career, if that's the title. And you're like, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways to make money online. So it's like, it's kind of the same thing, but it doesn't really let them know that they're in the right place. So you can still do research. So that's tip number 1. And I know you asked for 3 tips. Maybe.
I'll jump in, Sean.
Go ahead.
Okay, I would also say that the formula that we created in VRA is really sequential. So even though you've filmed videos that aren't necessarily using the VR principles, you can still do things like Sean said. You can do the research, you can, create a good title, but really just think of it as an overall library. So yes, maybe you have 3 videos now that are batched that aren't quite VRA, you said batched film a month's worth of video. So I'm assuming maybe you're doing 1 video a week. But just think of it as like, this is your starting point. So that's great that you did that. You can go back. We've had a lot of members and students go back and optimize their previous videos that were not set up like VRA. So there are a lot of things. Make sure you're going through all the modules, because there are definitely things you can do that can allow you to rank those videos without having filmed them in the VRA style. We just recommend to get the full potential out of the modules that we put together, that you do start and use the formula that's in VRA. So I hope that helps.
Awesome. Great points. Jay even says sometimes mobile and desktop rankings are different. Reason? Okay, a couple tips here. One thing that I know some of you have been noticing is that that your rankings, this is a separate question, but I'll answer it right here, is that when you load Video IQ, I've noticed this. A lot of times when you first land on the page, the rankings are wrong, and it needs 1 refresh before you can get the correct rankings. And I think, so that'll help some people. So let's check out gadgets for men. So I put out a video last week, and let's just see again how this is doing. So gadgets for men here, real-time ranking would be like 5 down. And if we go to it, okay, so it says 5, so that's good. But then there's all these blue. I'm going to refresh once. So I always just do a refresh. And now we'll see what it is. About the same. So after a refresh, I pretty much know that that's solid. And also some general good results on a variety of keywords. And so that's desktop. What I've noticed, and to answer your question, not knowing if I can answer it correctly, they are different. Usually not like radically different, but if I just go gadgets for men, I think it's actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a little bit off, but it's like still ranked. So you're saying what's the reason? I I'm not sure, but they are different. I found that usually they're not super drastically different. Like if it's ranked one place, it's also ranked the other place. But I would imagine the algorithm is serving up even the content. It's analyzing the content a little bit for a mobile audience versus a desktop audience. But if kind of, I've noticed that generally if you rank in both places, and it might be a little bit different. And then you can hustle in both places as well. So let me just give you one kind of abstract, like these are kind of theories, but based in a ton of research and learning and things. And that is even ways that you could influence search. So this is some that kind of deep SEO stuff. But I went to this SEO mastermind in Vegas. If you say, for instance, actually had 10 friends, specifically search out a keyword term. So I had 10 people and I was like, hey, can you type in cool or gadgets for men, and then click on my video on mobile, on Samsung, on iPhone, from all these different places. Could you do that for me? And over the next 3 days, now this is, that's kind of like a lot of work, but what that would be showing people is that actually even just a handful of people would be searching a term and then scrolling down to number 6 and clicking on your exact video in different states at different times. That mobile wise, Google would say, that video, like based on, what our data that we're searching is what people are looking for. And it could actually boost the ranking there. Whereas desktop behavior would be a little bit separate. And from listening at this SEO mastermind, that stuff actually works. And it didn't take a ton of people to do that. So I don't want to cause confusion, but if it makes sense, you don't need a ton of people. It's actually creating signals to boost rankings. And then when you boost rankings, you get even more signals. And so what these guys were doing in deep SEO was they did have like a micro team of people to do some things, and they were able to increase ranking because they're causing those signals, if that makes sense. So, but it shows you there's a little bit of activity that's different on mobile than on desktop. Jabin asks, when sharing videos on Facebook and Twitter in hopes to get affiliate sales, is it better to post the link with a photo hoping to take people to the YouTube, giving them access to your description and links, or simply post the video link, which plays directly on Facebook and Twitter without directing people to YouTube? Which is better etiquette for maximum views and sales? Good question. And let's talk a little bit about legality. So the answer is, in my opinion, okay, so legal wise, this is actually what you need to know. I don't want you to worry, but this is the facts. If you post an affiliate link on like Facebook, just straight up, you actually should put the word affiliate next to it, like in parentheses, because you actually are technically not able to disclose there. And so that's something to know. Thus, best practice is if you could drive people to your YouTube video in which all your links are organized and your disclaimer is there, that's your best like legal congruence and alignment. Now, I share this because I want you to be served with that information, not worry, but know the facts, and also know that none of this is legal advice and I'm not a lawyer. But then also know that I'm noticing huge YouTubers, like huge YouTubers, huge tech YouTubers that aren't disclosing anything. I don't even know if, not to say that, again, it's not that it's right, but they might not even know. And it's not that it's getting that clamped down on, like, so they're not putting anything in their description. And so it just kind of makes me think too, like Amazon has just become so common and so well known. Like a lot of people are just tweeting. I mean, to include the word affiliate is kind of crazy. But I'll tell you what I've actually been doing lately when I answer comments. So I will, on comments, like on Think Media TV, I'll either answer the comment, and what I'll do is I'll say, check out this video. If they say what camera or what lighting, and I'll put a link to the comments to that video. Because again, if they watch that video, they have a chance to click the affiliate link. Or I'll actually say, this is the mic I recommend, parentheses affiliate link. I'll just like throw it out there. Or I just I'll put parentheses affiliate, just the word, and right after the link. And here's the thing, I'm not trying to trick anybody. I mean, clearly, but also a lot of people don't even know what that is. So if you just throw the word affiliate, like, I don't know. So that's just kind of a way to cover your bases. For Facebook advice specifically, if you post a picture and then a link, that gets more reach than if you just post a link. Usually it's slightly, if you were to post a video natively to Facebook, that'd be even better. And there was a link in it. But I would consider your disclosures. So then my general preference generally is to rank videos that are working for me with well-optimized videos that are well disclosed, that are just doing their thing. And as I just review stuff and describe stuff, that people click the links, that's the best. And then drive traffic with social to that as much as possible and not do a ton of affiliate marketing outside of YouTube. Stevie says, for profile image, what image would you use if you're representing a company? Okay, so I'll answer this in two different ways. I mean, I think LinkedIn, you know, if it's you representing a company, I would use a professional image of you. And so let's cut over here. So I'm just trying to think, like, so I'm on LinkedIn and you'll see, so you know, here, in fact, it's a little different than my others because LinkedIn's like the professional place, right? So it would be, I guess this isn't that, I'm not super professional, kind of quirky and stuff. And then I see like, so this, I mean, I feel like that's, you know, that kind of gives me that vibe, and that's a good picture, and that people on LinkedIn would consider their profile pictures kind of like that. But I mean, if what you're asking, then, you know, what would you do if you're a brand? I think then it's just a branding question. So I'm a person, Sean Cannell, and I want to capture that. But if I go to video influencers, it's the brand. I'll tell you this, people are more powerful than brands in social media, because I don't want to talk to a logo and a brand. I want to talk to a person. And so there's a place for both. But it's always the most, I mean, if it sounds cheesy, but if a brand walked up to me, like if a step and repeat, like a big piece of cardboard and had like an iPad in it, I'd be like, this is weird, it's a robot. But if somebody at an event, but if somebody walks up to me and there's eye contact, I'm able to talk to them and feel, you know, as much as possible and have a human connection. Social media is about human connections. And so that personal account is what I'm passionate about. And so maybe it's two different accounts, like the corporate account and the personal account. The corporate account obviously is going to have a certain tone of voice and say certain things. Your personal account, you're going to do certain things. And then what a lot of people do is they'll say stuff when they work for a company. They'll say, it's like a disclaimer to kind of protect themselves legally, is they'll say like, the views and opinions expressed here are my own. Or like at their blog or at the bottom of their email, they'll say that if they are representing a company. Matthew says, how do you set up social media links in the YouTube banner? Great question. So if you go to your channel, go to your about page. I'm not logged in, so never mind here. Let's go to video influencers. So if you just go to your about page, and you can click here to type words. You can put your business inquiry email, and then your links, which you do, you go like this, and you say overlay up to 5. And so it's going to be website, leads with the website, and then Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And those are the ones that show up when you say overlay on your channel art. One other thing, and we're going to be adding this to Video Ranking Academy, I've noticed it doesn't influence a ton of stuff, but one thing to note, and this is definitely something to do, is the same way you would do VRA to your videos, you want to do it to your channel. And so you can have channel tags, and vidIQ is showing us these right now. But in your description is another place where you can organically pepper your channel tags that you want to rank for. Ranking your channel is not really a strategy that I recommend. Super tough. There's a lot of channels you're going up against. But the same way, like general terms for like video marketing or online video. And as you can even see, this is not updated. Showing also to our priority. Our priority has been to put out videos that are going to rank, that are based on Video Ranking Academy. But that's a kind of a tip too, that you can apply Video Ranking Academy. Where are you going to do it? Just in your channel tags and your about page, so that your keywords are kind of in there. Jonathan says, for those of us with our brand more based on entertaining and not offering a specific answer, how would you brand your channel with a phrase? Something like, I entertain those looking for lighthearted fun. Exactly. So good, Jonathan. And that's kind of a challenge, you know? I mean, I think if you're Kevin Hart, right, people know you're a comedian. And so you're by definition an entertainer. And, you know, Jonathan for encouragement, but also for what it is. Like if we go to LA right now and we go to Hollywood, it's a grind. Like people are hustling. So our friend who helps us with a lot of projects we're working on, Lila Hart, she's hustling in community, so in comedy. So she's doing clubs. She's trying to work her, you know, her way up. And so I think having no clarity on what you are trying to do. So you are an entertainer. If it is comedy, but I think the second tip, and I'm excited to get in channel reviews, is how you're kind of different, you know? So in business, they call it a USP, a unique selling position. And for everybody watching and everybody in the Video Ranking Academy family, you want to know how you're different. So like what makes you different? And that could be, it could have to do with your, you know, your nationality plus your gender plus your style of content plus your, you know, whatever. And so now you're like, so I've heard some vloggers position themselves, they're like an interracial couple trying to figure out life in Chicago, right? So like there's distinctives inside of that, and now people can attach to that particular thing. But definitely I introduce that. So I've seen some people channels, they say, my job is to make you laugh. Or like, my number one passion is to make you laugh. Watch my latest video on YouTube. So really getting clear on what your end goal is. My goal is to inspire you. My friend Alejandro Reyes, that Reyes family vloggers on YouTube, they say family is everything. And peppered in their thing every day, he does these motivational things. So they're vlogging, they're Hispanic American, they've got their distinctives, and that stuff helps. But then they also kind of have their brand and sort of some consistent themes that show up in their shows. Nathan, how do we access the new end cards for new videos? Click subscribe features that I've seen on bigger channels. You can get those as soon as they just roll out to everybody. So there's really nothing you could do to get them early, but they'll just pop once they've been tested and beta tested, then you can start using those. Okay. We'll do some channel reviews. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll go through a couple channels, and we picked out some specific channels to have a diversity so you could pull principles for what you're doing. Also, look forward to definitely, if you can, join at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to go through 5 growth hacking tips now and strategies built on this foundation, more channel reviews and more questions. And so if any more questions come in, we can move those to the call then and check those out. Okay. Picked out 4 channels, and we will channel review these. Thank you for volunteering. You volunteered to for Heather and I to have absolute honesty, and we want to be helpful. And so we have Gray Ghost Sailing. Awesome. So a couple initial impressions. Number one, especially with the content we just talked about with branding, 3 to 7 seconds. I definitely get what your channel is about, and the fact that it's about sailing. So I love that. I mean, generally the branding is good. And you've got a logo, you've got that it's about sailing and that you're living it, loving it, and sharing it. The only thing I could think again is to think about the word you know, and inspiring you to, and sharing it with you. And this is kind of a tagline, but it could be like weekly or daily videos to, really specific as to what it's going to get. So, and you know your audience better than anybody, right? So, you know, it's kind of like in your niche, you'd say like, what do I want to see? That's like the ultimate thing to come back to for the whole VRA community was we make videos usually kind of to serve like the videos we wish were on YouTube. And then there's a tribe of people out there that could relate to that. So that would be great. I'm not sure how active you are on social media, but having those links up here would be cool. And if I was to think, let's see here, sailing. tutorial. So then the flip side, like now this is just a little bit of channel strategy, is sailboat for sale. I like it. Sailing boat. Some of the videos, and I'm not sure what your angle is, but getting into maybe a sailing tutorial, basic sailing tutorial, could be some ways to probably attract new viewers and start growing the channel. And that's kind of like adding value if that in fact is the angle that you're coming from. On the thumbnails, I like this, that it's under black. This kind of gets a little hard to read because of the busyness. So as kind of like, I like how this is under white. Whenever you put, I like how that's kind of under black. I would say though, it would be better if this text was white on black. More than anything, I actually try to steer away from, not saying that the channel wouldn't be, the thumbnail would not be creative, but staying away from fonts or anything that is just not, that's plain and simple readable. So we just did this negative comments one. I just put this out this morning, white on black, you know, how to get inspired in this case. So just kind of thinking if the text could be pumped up. You also, some of these could be more readable, and that's just what I would want to default for. Pictures are amazing. So like this is great, but this text could pop a lot more, maybe with you know, a black bars behind it or whatever, so that it really pops. Like that looks great because it's white with, and it's really clearly to see Gray Ghost. Love that you have the logo for the consistency on the videos. We just talked about playlists and how that could go on your homepage. And so I might actually brainstorm a channel strategy to actually really plan out like what are the playlists, like sailing tutorials. Like if you owned that, you'd be like, you know, that'd be huge. Basic sailing tutorials. You know, again, this is just my 2 cents, not knowing the full strategy. Sailing navigation. And then I don't know, like sailing vlogs, like literally people looking for that. So if you created a playlist on sailing vlogs, this is like your top level playlists, etc. Like boat, it looks like you're doing some construction. So like boat rehabbing, restoration. So boat, all of this looks awesome. Boat restoration project, and maybe that's its own playlist and people could watch that, a time lapse, all kinds of good video ideas. And then here, you can fill this out a little bit more. I think this is a channel. If you want to build it out more, introduce yourself, go a little bit more in depth here. And I might just, this actually probably isn't the best example. This might be a little bit better. Just as like a framework, I would use this to maybe copy it. Like, thanks for being here. This is my name. This is what I'm passionate about. And this is my why. This is what you can expect here. Let's talk soon. And then maybe some social media links. But overall, it's very cool. Love the what you're doing, and think there's a ton of opportunities there. Heather, do you have anything?
Yeah, can you flip back over to it? Yeah. So I'm just kind of going on what Sean said there with the living, loving it, sharing it. When you're doing big, catchy things like that, it again goes into that qualifying that you're not actually saying what you're doing. So when I look at your page right away, I don't know, are you telling me how to sail? Are you teaching me how to sail? Are you just doing vlogs? So like, be really specific in not just the images that you have at the top, but in every single playlist that you do, make sure it's really, really clear as to what I should do. So if this one is boat restoration, this one is how to sail, this one is, you know, so just really going into depth. The deeper you go with it, the more your audience will completely understand what you're doing, and the more they will be engaged in what you're doing rather than just be a follower.
Very, very good. Okay. Next, we're going to do 3 more. Sid Polson, Sid Fitness. Again, that first impression right off the bat is good in the sense that it's clear that it's fitness. So if I'm interested in that, then I would want to, you know, potentially hang out here. I think the cover, one thing that I actually would sometimes consider that I try to do is how your avatar complements your cover and what the difference is. And so I actually might switch up the avatar a little bit, kind of hard to see and see what it is. And figure out, whatever you want your, like, boom, like your first impression right there. And then on your cover image, I would want a statement that says video, weekly videos that will help you with this. Make sense? So is it me watching you? So I guess we could come here. So I'm going to see a bodyweight workout routine. I'm going to see a tutorial. I'm going to see a routine. I'm going to see, this is probably a tutorial too. So let people know that. And tutorials and training videos to help you specifically. And then just like anything, figuring out how you stand out. So it would seem like flexibility, and forgive me for not knowing probably like all the details about your channel. Let's see, bodyweight training, calisthenics, and gymnastics. So that's great. I mean, like, you've got that. So I found that here. I would really want to lead with that. And then that's a good discovery. Link up your Instagram. Your Instagram link is dead. I was going to go there to look at how that also, if like that consistent messaging goes across the board, like, I'm a this, and I create videos to help people with bodyweight training, calisthenics, and gymnastics, or weekly videos to help. Okay. And then also, if this is your logo, this is cool. I would blow it way up. I would have like strength starting here, flexibility starting here, and then branding across channels. I might consider, does that also go over here? Should that be right here? If that's going to be your logo, or should your kind of a cool photo, almost like this one cropped in, be right here? And then that Sid Fitness logo, be up here, as well as with some clarity of what's happening. And then the same thing I would do with channel strategy is I would kind of figure out your top level playlists. Your channel is like ESPN, and your playlists are Sports Center. That's a certain type of videos. Training video Fridays, interviews with other fitness trainers. And that's kind of the way you'd want to think about it, is your channel is like the top level, big idea. And then you have to broken down into playlists underneath that. Heather?
Yep, you just covered everything that I had written down. So I think he's on the right path. I think his imaging is really strong. I mean, I want to click on it to figure out how to be that flexible. So that's really great. But yep, just take those things and then really think about, I know we're going to cover this later on, but really think about, where is your audience? So in fixing that Facebook and the Instagram, if you want to have your logo as your main image, do you want to direct them to the business, or do you want to direct them to you as the trainer, as the person? So really think about that in the image that you choose as your profile.
Absolutely. And for some video ideas, I just took your words here. So I would want to own all of these. I'm sure there's some competition out there, but I would follow the rabbit hole of, calisthenics for beginners, calisthenics transformation, calisthenics versus bodybuilding. I would then also follow the rabbit hole of, gymnastics, floor routines, whatever's relevant. So again, you get these ideas, connect them with your passion, expertise, and what you want to do. And then think about that. If you get somebody that finds you, that then when they come back, because even on YouTube, the same way as your branding on social, that when they start with calisthenics workout routine, and then they watch you like someplace, and then they follow you back to your channel, then they want to subscribe. And one thing that people do take advantage of, like, I don't necessarily do this, but it says Sid Paulson. You could say Sid Space Paulson, or you could say Sid Fitness. Like, what's it going to be? But you'll notice what some of these folks did is in their channel titles, they say calisthenics and weight training is like the name of the channel. That's smart. You got to figure out your branding. So I'm not necessarily telling you to do that, but that's like keywords right in your title. So in some cases, if relevant, it could be, you know, Sid Paulson calisthenics training, and you do it. You have a couple different areas. That makes sense. So I don't want to, you know, point you in too many directions, but that is a thought to consider right off the top. This shows it's a personal brand, it's a name, but it could be Sid Paulson, and you can add more words, exactly what you do or exactly how you serve people. Okay. Next up, Alderman Farms. Awesome. Tommy. Awesome. Okay. So a couple great things happening here right off the bat. And this is what I encourage all Video Ranking Academy to say in some way, is to put out into the world that people can expect new videos weekly, daily, you know, monthly. But I think you should shoot for weekly. And when you say that, it's just, even if it's not, it doesn't even say when they are. And I know in the About page, it actually goes into different kind of weekly, usually several per week. So you certainly could do more, but just like a TV show lets people know. And then where life on the farm just got real, like it. Also, though, kind of like a tagline. So there might be the chance up here to say kind of exactly what kind of videos. I think that's clear, and obviously it's working with the channel growth and what's happening here. But a chance to say, you know, how-tos, tutorials. And not that this, again, is like the end all be all, but let me, as I was reworking the branding on this channel here, which was a personal brand, I did bring people like threes. Threes is something to go off of. So like, and it's different than this. Like, this is a channel where I don't even take that seriously as far as branding, but I wanted to still give some sort of clarity. So I'm like, hey, it's product reviews, it's life hacks, it's video blogs, which also is like, it's not super clear, but I think it definitely is a lot better than it was. Our other brands are a little more clear, but if you could say, you know, tutorials, and like really like what your main things and your biggest, most effective things, that'd be something to do there. I like that you've got your channel here, popular uploads. I would probably take your liked videos off of here. You certainly can have it on there. It does support people, but for whatever reason, that thumbnails, and maybe just clean up some of this. I like it. One of the things you could do here, like homestead humor is cool, but it maybe could be described like almost based around a keyword. And actually, so Video Rank Academy in general, playlists are a huge option to stack your keywords. And so your playlist names can very much be searchable phrases, and should stack searchable exact keyword phrases, like how to get views and subscribers on YouTube 2016. Like, that is an exact keyword phrase. Best YouTube equipment dash, and then a few of the other things, but best YouTube equipment is a keyword phrase. And so take advantage of really putting some playlists together that are based on Video Ranking Academy principles, talking to the machine, but also talking to humans. And then those can not only rank and get discovered, but also give a little more clarity. I get what this is, but if it was, if it was almost led with like, obviously funny videos is probably, it's like huge, but if it was led with like funny videos about animals, right? You know, I mean, and now like that could be a crazy playlist and could build out, and then maybe you just then insert homesteading, and it's not something that's going to rank, but it's clear, and it might rank for like, it's not registering up there with a lot of searches, but still could be discoverable. I guess it's kind of cool. Hey, appreciate the love, appreciate the love, appreciate the love. And like your thumbnails, like the red makes it pop. Definitely something that we do too. And this is totally up to you, of course, like your font choice. But again, like, okay, so like this is super readable. This font gets a little bit lost inside of here. And so again, there's your branding, your style, which I don't want to even speak to that because that is your branding, your style. but then there's also just straight readable. And so whatever that, up to your eyes, making it as readable as possible. And then your about page is cool because you definitely are describing what you're focused on, what videos you can expect, several per week, the types of videos. I like the use of affiliates here. And then as we go over here, definitely what we talked about on this Hangout, you could do some things. This makes sense. What you do and what you produce, like, or we help. I love you. YOU. We bring you these things, or putting it into the you based. Okay, this is call to action to kind of your recent video. If you're updating that a lot, that's kind of cool. So then maybe you have a video and you give a call to action up there. That's great. Heather, if you're here.
Yep, I'm here. Just muted.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I have the power, so if you want me to click anywhere, tell me where to click.
Yeah, I would just, go back to the home. Yeah. Just one thing, when you're thinking of overall branding, one thing that I just really want to point out here, color choice. So really thinking about your color choice. I love that you have the green, that you're a farm. That makes total sense. I looking back, just spend some time going back to your older thumbnails and making those ones updated to what your new ones look like, because this is like the first impression that people have. And going with the thumbnail piece that Sean was talking about, more people are watching on their mobile devices. So once you create a thumbnail, think about it on that screen. Like, could you read that on the mobile screen? That's going to be really important. And then organizing, when Sean said like making tutorials, say, do you really clarify who are you teaching? Are you teaching the people who are just starting on a farm? Are you teaching people who are have a farm but want to update it? Like, really get clear on the exact audience and put that in the top, because that's going to really help you decide, or have your audience base know who you're teaching and who you're talking to. So that's what I have on this one.
This is the greatest video on the internet. I just see this. I was like, goat rides pig.
Goat rides a pig.
This is some of the things too. Like, we want to get Ninja. This should be a native Facebook video.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't done that, that could be
out. Yeah.
I think you could do a lot with what you're doing. I think you could do a ton on Facebook video with native videos. Yeah. That maybe is a conversation for another time. You could massively growth hack your Facebook with some of the cool things that are happening. Just to talk about these thumbnails, what I would lead to on this is, if I really look, I could see, I don't know how to pronounce this, but plantar, how do you pronounce it, Heather? Fasciitis?
Fasciitis? I can't even see it. It's really small on my screen.
Plantar fasciitis. I found relief. Here's what I would do.
We need to know what that is.
I would ditch I found relief. So, and knowing, it says relief, relief here. So you don't need to put as many words. So just plantar fasciitis, as big as possible, question mark, ditches a few other words. And it took me a little while to implement this. But again, so I put this video out today, how to deal with negative comments on YouTube. I don't want to repeat all those words. So I just put 2 words and make them as big as possible. Negative comments. So, plantar fasciitis, like big. And then your title is a compliment, besides keywords and stuff, complements that for ranking. I have one more thing about thumbnails, Sean. Yep. So even though you have these older videos on here, Tom, go take new pictures. I mean, if you are talking about the chickens, go take new pictures of the chickens. You don't have to necessarily use the same imagery that you had during your video that you previously did. You can do a whole new thumbnail and make all the thumbnails in the series of tutorials on chickens all make sense in a line when I see them on the playlist. So that's something to think about too. Just making your thumbnails, if you look at video influencers,
all the ones about, you know, how to grow your audience on 2016, somewhere in that thumbnail, it talks about the different ways to do that. So on top of it being a playlist, it also goes one step deeper in the thumbnails. So Sean's scrolling through here and you're seeing different thumbnails that don't have any wording on them or really any description on them. I would go through and just take a ton of pictures of goats, random pictures of the goats, and then just using the thumbnails that you're creating on top of that. And if this is something that is too time consuming, send this out, outsource this. There's definitely people that would do this for you. You just send them the imagery, you show them what you want to do. Like, think about this VRA, that there are things that you can do to update that you don't necessarily have to do, that if you have the funds or the capability or the ability to, what am I trying to think of, Sean? Like, you do business for me, I do business for you. What's that called?
Oh yeah, like service exchange.
Like business exchange. So if someone is really into farming, they want to learn all about it, and you want to, business exchange and have them do the thumbnails because they're really great at thumbnails. Think about that. Use the community that we have here and reach out to people. So that's just I know that's a little bit deeper than what we're going, but that just really struck out to me that you have so much opportunity to really win with the stuff you already have going. And
just for clarity, on a reiteration on Video Ranking Academy, if you don't want to mess with a good thing, so you actually don't want, if you retitle your video, it'll re-index. So that's why if your video is not ranking and it's a new video, that's fine. You can mess with it until, early on. But if it's doing well like these, I wouldn't really mess with the titles because they're ranking or they're doing well. But you can change thumbnails all day long. So just something to know, that you can always update old thumbnails. So sometimes, and this, I've talked about this in a past lesson, but one of the things that I did, I believe probably in here, was on how to get noticed on YouTube. I know you can't really see this, but it actually says, I went back into the thumbnail and changed 2015 to 2016. Even though the video was 2015. I didn't change anything else. I just opened up that file, changed the number, because the principles are still true, even though it's an older video. So it's just that impression. Just to give an illustration that, again, you could change the thumbnail, but the video could still rank for old terms if you don't mess with any of that. If there's some videos that you want to pop even more in search results and have people click on them. Okay, one more to go. And thanks so much for hanging out. We're here. So we picked out, a niche sailing channel, a fitness channel, a business channel, and Alderman Farms. And so now we're on a vlog channel to speak generally to vlogging. And a couple good things happening here in the sense that it's new videos every day. Great. That should be 10 times bigger. In fact, even on this image, and maybe the propensity is to say, okay, it's a beautiful shot, there's a cruise ship, but like even this could be this big and new videos could be that big. So it could be a lot bigger, letting people know what's happening. And then as vloggers, I would be thinking about how to stand out in, again, I get here. In fact, I might even lead. I might say that we're vloggers. Because for the first impression test, learning to love our crazy lives, I don't actually know what the channel is about. I know there's going to be new videos. I can infer that it's kind of about you guys, but I think being really clear. And then on this, definitely the principle. Again, it's cool. It's got the leg and you got the Christmas tree, but I would bring this way up, and I would think you want this photo to be bomb, right? You want it to really pop. And you also, I think for vloggers, some of the people who I've seen do some things well, and as far as branding is, look at this. So look at what Sam and Nia have done. They've kind of made it like the Brady Bunch. And so this definitely took some work. It might even be something that you hire out, but they've created like real personalities, daily vlogs. They put a time. And they, I just kind of, I like that as far as, what the image is. So meaning there's like some color behind it. There's kind of a vibe. So whatever that is for you, but that's something to consider as far as standing out there. I also love what you're doing with like challenges and stuff, because I think what a lot of vloggers miss out on the opportunity to do is they just vlog, but they never create videos that are kind of like this. And I see that some of these are like your popular uploads. And I would definitely be looking to jump on trends, jump on the latest, you know, meme vibes. It used to be the planking, and then it was, you know, the Harlem Shake and all that stuff. I would definitely do that weekly, or make singing videos or musically or whatever, you know, I don't know. So, and then in addition to your daily kind of videos, the thumbnails are looking cool. One thing I always encourage people is your text could always get bigger. Like "were" could go here, "going" could go all the way here, to "Florida" could go all the way across there. I do like how readable your text is, and it's got that kind of cartoon vibe. So like, I love this thumbnail. Based on the lighting, based on the green and the whatnot, that pops. That thumbnail is, and that picture is like 100 times better than this picture. No offense, right? But again, like, it's dark. That's camera flash. This is like vibrant. It's got the color. That's kind of what I'm speaking to. I would update this to kind of reflect that with kind of that new channel branding update. And then, you know, keep doing your thing. And for vloggers, and general tips for Video Rank Academy in general is, okay, Florida is maybe doing some videos as much as possible. Like, okay, so I would have a vlog growth strategy. And what I would do to grow a vlog channel is not make vlogs, meaning you have your vlogs, but I would spend time making other types of videos. So if you have a chance to, so this, okay, so when you went to vacation to Florida, I might make one video that's actually pure creative, because you know how to create videos, you know how to edit. So if you could give a 2 to 3 minute video of you know, one ride at Disney World, right? And like, you get the keyword title of that. You're like, hey guys, we're about to go on the new, you know, Star Wars Force Awakens ride. You show a cool video of it, and then at the end you go, man, it was cool. You give a review of it. We give it like a 10. And hey, if you want to see daily vlogs, subscribe. So it's not Star Wars Force Awakens mixed in with like 10 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a hook based on, still adds value to your audience. Whoa, cool, they see that. But every single one of those videos is a hook video. That is one of the big things I would do to grow a vlog channel. So now you're at a restaurant, you're at a theme park, you're at a different place, and you create a little mini video about it. Not a great example, because it is a little longer. It's more vlog style. So it's probably what I would have learned since then. So if we go like Las Vegas horseback riding, 3 years ago when I was vlogging, we did like a vlog about horsebacking in Las Vegas. And that was my idea. These days, like since Video Rank Academy, I would probably ditch Yeehaw. And but what's it rank for? It ranks for Las Vegas horseback riding, right? And so then people, they get like the info, so it ranks here and it ranks here, and it does still get views, you know, slow and steady. So that becomes a hook video based around an event. So that's completely what I would kind of think on. But the way I would do this different is I might make a pure review and show some fun and show our personalities, and then give a call to action to say, hey, if you like this video, we actually do daily videos, including vlogs and things like that. So definitely subscribe. And I mean, if you do a Video Ranking Academy, you know, massive publish, because you're already doing new videos every day. If you just do that repeatedly over and over and over again, then you'll growth hack your channel with all these hook videos based around events, restaurants, vacation, places, trends, all those different things you could jump on. Heather?
Yep, I was just going to say, you know, one thing that we see vloggers do all the time is that they just expect people to be interested in their life from the get-go. And so a big thing with vlogging is that you have to make it completely interesting to the person that is just finding you. So if I don't know who you are, I don't know what your lifestyle is about, I don't know why you're even creating videos, you have to give me the exact reason as to why I should watch and want to become invested in watching your daily show. So really thinking every time you're creating a vlog, why am I creating this? Am I creating it because I want to show what I'm doing every single day? Or am I creating it just like the Reyes family here? Am I creating it because I really want to show how we live this life, this specific way with our family style and what I'm doing? So really making sure that you know that as a vlogger, you're not vlogging for the same people that are watching you every day. If you're trying to be discovered as a vlogger, you need to be creating a reason why someone should want to watch you and your family. So on here you say like Spanish family, like your tags that are on here. I would pick one thing and go really deep with it. So it says like musician, we're married, we're Spanish speaking, we're working on inspirational and personal growth and church. Like, what is your stake in the ground? What are you going to do that is really going to make me identify with you and want to watch your journey? So really, I mean, almost like your why statement that we talk about in VRA, really figure out why I, as your audience member and your tribe, want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I think here's some good homework, and this is kind of true for everybody, but it'll be especially, I was hoping that Reyes family has a channel trailer. They don't, so I gotta be like, hey guys, what are you doing? Write out a channel trailer and do one, and write it out like on paper. Write out a powerful paragraph, and the process of doing that will bring so much clarity and alignment to everything else you're doing. So what I love is that because we can see your tags because of vidIQ, we actually can see a lot of where your stakes are in the ground. And so as you weave those things in there, like, hey guys, and then you break it down on this channel, this is what we do. The reason we do this, you know, this is why we're passionate. So subscribe for weekly videos, and we also do challenges. And in the process of coming up with that channel trailer where you could just throw in clips and some other things, it just forces you to think about it, which again, you already kind of have here. But I think then that channel trailer becomes the hook where if you do, or it becomes the follow-up to if they watch a hook video, then they come back and they go, okay, I resonate with Jonathan and Stephanie. I love, you know, Hannah, their Yorkie, and I do want to subscribe. Or those videos also could just perform, get views, do well, become even a potential, like if you review stuff, you go places and you're able to say, hey, check out this playlist of the last 10 places we reviewed. Can we get, you know, free hotel rooms? If we review your resorts, can we do stuff? You now have like a history of showing those. And even if it's not a big subscriber thing, some subscribers subscribe, but some people just want to see the new Force Awakens ride, you know, whatever. And they see these little micro videos you do. Then as you guys live your life, you could tie that into potentially free products, sponsorships, brand deals, and so on and so forth. But again, at the end, you're always giving a call to action back, like check out more of what we're doing. And so your goal is to reach a wide audience with hook videos, and then a percentage of that audience would potentially subscribe. Man, we did it. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out on the Hangout. Thanks for everybody that's still here. If you're watching on the replay, thanks so much for watching in the members area. Can't wait to hang out tonight if you can make it, and post, you know, more questions on the question picture, and we can add those in tonight. We're going to do 4 new channel reviews tonight, and we're going to get into the 5 specific ways to growth hack your YouTube channel with social media built on the foundation of good branding tonight. So thanks again so much for being a part of Video Ranking Academy. Heather.
Yes, I have a question of the day. Tell us one thing you learned and one action you're going to take from what you learned.
So Heather's going to post that on the Facebook right now. Reply to her post on the question of the day in the Facebook group. What's one thing you learned, and what are you going to do, right? Because we don't want to just get information. We want implementation. We want to take action and execute on these things. Don't let perfectionism stop you. Done is better than perfect. You don't have to, the whole branding thing doesn't have to be perfect, just a little bit better. And we're always making small tweaks that lead to giant peaks. So hit up the question of the day in the Facebook group. We'll see you there. If you can hang out tonight, we'll see you then, or we'll already seeing you on the replay and we're talking. Thanks for being here in the membership area. And appreciate you so much. Thankful for you. Keep crushing it. Keep smashing it. And we will talk soon.